Golf is supposed to be our refuge from the daily grind, but so many of us golf angry. So today I'll outline 10 rules you can follow to play happier golf. It starts with teeing it forward. It's not fun hitting long irons and woods into greens all day, and I've noticed that even scratch golfers will tee it forward from time to time. So there's no reason you can't. I'm trying to get one in play with a hybrid here, and sadly, my first shot of the day finds the water.
I see it rolling. I think it's wet. Okay. Oh, I was in the water somewhere.
And that leads to the second rule of happier golf. Sometimes, you just have to pick up your ball and move on. We're not on the PGA Tour, and the handicap system provides a maximum score you can take on each hole for your skill level. So after plopping a second ball in the water here on one,
Oh, I'm swimming again.
I'm just going to take my max triple and move on. It speeds up the game for my playing partners, and allows me to take a breather and reset before the next hole. Angry golfers also tend to lament every instance when the ball doesn't do what they want it to. But golf is a game of misses, and the better you start to miss, the lower your scores. And part of that is learning to appreciate a good miss. This is a poor strike low on the heel of my club face, but it's in play. And rather than whine about it,
Yeah, it was a miss hit.
I'll just appreciate that the golf gods allowed me to miss in a good place.
Okay, so I've got 211 in. It's so downwind. I'm thinking a 180 club of 5 hybrids enough here.
Because I'm in the right frame of mind, I'm focused, aware of my surroundings, and choosing a club not based on ego, but rather factoring in the conditions that I'm tuned into. It's a good strike and on a decent line,
Oh, just in the bunker there.
but ultimately comes up just a hair short. My playing partner Gord hits a great one here, and I have my eyes wide open, hoping to get up and down for birdie. And then, this happens.
Heads up.
But that leads to the fourth rule of happier golf.
Whoops.
Let go of bad shots immediately.
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, I've gone from hoping to get up and down for birdie to being left trying to scramble for par. But what would be worse than taking an extra stroke or two on this hole would be allowing myself to spiral into negative thoughts and letting these opening holes ruin my day.
Good bogey.
It's a frustrating bogey, but we'll harness the memory of a goldfish by putting this behind us immediately. And it's just on to the next hole, where lo and behold, I take my best swing of the day so far. It's a towering drive right up the middle. Or is it? Somehow this ball takes a brutal kick from the middle of the fairway into a waste area. But in the same way that we appreciate the good misses, we also have to accept the bad breaks. Bobby Jones said it best. We just have to play it as it lies.
Miss to the right.
We can't control the breaks, but we can control our reactions to them. And I'm just focused on getting this one back into play.
Thanks.
The result is a putt from just off the green, which turns out to be yet another bad stroke.
Nope.
But what about the next one? Notice that I'm still taking my time and treating this one without regard to the one that came before it. And with a committed stroke here, I get this one to go.
Hey.
And I hope you'll appreciate the story of my journey to happier golf by hearing about today's sponsor. I've confronted serious health issues in my life. None more serious than a life-threatening autoimmune disease several years ago. And it was at that time that I began to speak with a therapist. It struck me that I was seeking professional help for my physical health, but not my mental health. And choosing to speak to a therapist was one of the best decisions I've ever made. I learned to understand the feelings I was confronting. And more importantly, my therapist provided practical, real-world strategies for me to confront my mental health while I was in a battle for my physical health. And while I appreciated therapy during an acute crisis, today I continue to speak with a therapist as part of my mental health regimen. It's helped me so immensely in my personal life. And incidentally, it's even helped me on the golf course, where keeping a level head is just as important as any technical aspect of the sport. Seeking therapy can be a daunting task, especially if you're unsure where to start or overwhelmed by the idea of face-to-face sessions. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp, comes in. BetterHelp is an online platform that makes it easier to get the support you need. They offer sessions by phone calls, video chats, and even messaging, so you can choose the best format you're comfortable with. With a network of over 30,000 licensed therapists, BetterHelp can match you with the professional that best suits your needs and preferences. And if you feel like a therapist isn't the right fit, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no charge. So I encourage you to take that first step and give therapy a try. Visit betterhelp.com/notascratchgolfer or select my channel name at sign up for a special discount off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp.
And that pin's at the back, too. I'm going to aim at the middle of the green and back off of a 165 club.
I previously made a video highlighting my 10 rules of course management, and I'm following a cardinal one here by just taking aim at the middle of the green. As it turns out, it's the appropriate strategy here, leaving me with a birdie putt. I'll take a second to pace this one off here before giving it a run. And I do a good job playing this one that starts downhill before following a slope uphill closer to the hole.
Thank you.
And I'll put a mark on it before tapping it in for par.
Partner.
And at long last, I finally found something of a groove here on the par 4 fifth. It's another good drive up the fairway.
All right, we got 143 playing 152 slope. I'm going to hit a really light 7-iron.
And with a committed plan over the approach shot, I managed to hit another good ball at the middle of the green,
Be good.
leaving me with about 30 feet for birdie. The lag putts are coming along too. It's another good one here. And for now,
Thanks.
the par train is rolling on. The safe play here is hitting a 3-wood to the end of the fairway on the right. But irrespective of all the rules I've discussed today, poor execution is just a reality of the game.
Oh, shit.
And this one finds the waist area.
So just here?
That's fine.
With some input from my opponents in my match today, I'll take relief from the cart path here before hitting a wedge towards the green.
Is that long?
But it winds up long. And after another bad one here,
Oh, God.
it's time for rule number 8. Bogey is never a bad score. No matter your skill level, bogeys are almost always never the undoing of a round of golf. The scorecard doesn't discriminate where you lose strokes. It just counts them up. I've hit 3 bad shots on this hole, but escaping with just a bogey is no problem at all. On to 7, where I certainly appreciate having a 7-iron in hand from these tees. And even a bad strike here
Leaked it. Go! Go!
manages to catch a piece of green. And a committed strike over this putt gives me a good chance at a birdie here.
Oh.
But it's not quite meant to be. But we're back on track with a par. And now this.
Oh, no. Sit.
It's a terrible drive into the desert, which plays as a lateral here. And my third is no joke either. But I'm trying to abide my own rules of happier golf by not lamenting how many strokes I've taken to get here. And a good strike on this one gets me in wedge range. It's a good reminder not to give up on a hole when a respectable score is still within reach. Everyone has a favorite wedge number, and this one is mine.
82.
Cultivated by countless rounds of pitch and putt. I can tell looking at the footage that this was a stress-free swing, and lo and behold, it rolls right up to tap-in range, where somehow, some way, I'll escape this hole with a par. The 9th is a downhill dogleg left, and while I thought I'd overcook this one a hair,
Oh, shit.
it winds up in a perfect position where I'll have just a wedge in. And with the hole cut in the middle of this green, this is easily the biggest green light I've had today to take aim at a pin. And it's right on the money.
Yeah. Thanks.
And I thought I drilled this one right at the center of the cup, but it leads to the final rule of happier golf.
Thanks, guys.
We have to be patient out there. I had multiple close calls for birdie on this front 9, mixed in with a triple and a fistful of bogeys. But again, there's no sense in letting the round unfurl. I'll stay in good spirits, knowing full well that the back 9 will present its own opportunities to score. And spoiler alert, I put up a great score on the back that allowed me to break 80. So let's see how I did it, following each of the rules of happier golf. We start with the short downhill par 4, and given that the driver has been my best club today, I'll opt for it here.
Yeah, that was hit well.
And it's another one on a rope, right down the middle, almost reaching the green. I chip this one on, and it releases to only about 6 feet. And I'm thinking I've finally made my first birdie of the day. But no. We'll have to stick to the 10th rule of happier golf, by just staying patient and moving on to the next hole, which is a drivable par 4 in earnest. It's just a matter of identifying my line,
Kind of on line with the tall green bushy tree at the top of the hill?
but unfortunately, I miss it.
Ah. That is definitely right.
And this effort out of the bunker isn't my best, leaving me a long look at birdie.
Go!
But I'm not fearing this putt. I'm relishing it. My lag putting has been solid today, and finally the patience pays off, and we get this unlikely one to go.
Hey!
On to another short par 5, where another good drive leaves me looking to reach the green in 2.
Okay, so 187, 196 slope. Just feels like it's down. I'm going to hit a 180 club.
And this is eerily reminiscent of the second hole, with another good hybrid strike that hooks just a bit left,
Be good, ball.
this time missing in a grass bunker.
Oh, it's short. Shame. Great line. Oh my god. I should be able to do this.
But I'm not plagued by demons of what I did the last time I was in this position.
Wow.
It's a far better outcome this time,
Not intentional, but it worked.
leaving me just a few feet for birdie. But
Oh.
I'll have to let go of this bad shot right away and just move on.
Oh, Adam.
And I'll have to harness the same thought after this one.
It's in that bunker.
I've had some mixed results out of bunkers today, but at long last it's a gem here,
Thanks.
allowing me to easily clean this one up for par. Poor strikes were actually abound for me on this back nine, and here on 14, it's another one that's going to find its way into the desert.
That's trouble. Okay, so 163. We're in to win. I'm going to look a little right of the flag and try to draw one in.
And this recovery shot leaves a whole lot to be desired too.
Ah.
But remember the 9th rule of happier golf. Staying mentally checked into holes where you can still salvage a bogey. I don't treat this putt any differently than I would if it was a putt for eagle. I'm getting a sense of the slope while walking to my ball here, and even though I ride the ridge a bit lower than intended, because I took the time to program the speed into my feet, the distance control turns out to be bang on. And after some careful deliberation from my opponents, they decide to give me this one for bogey.
Thank you.
The wind is starting to pick up here on 15, and despite what felt like a good strike, this one doesn't work out.
Whoa! That took a funky turn.
It's a bad break to find this bunker,
Yeah, that was bizarre.
and before hitting mine, once again I'll get a look at Gord's. It looks great, but ultimately rolls right off the green into another trap. With that in mind, I'll try to barely get mine out of the bunker and let it roll out, but
Oh, no way! Boy, that was miserable. I thought that was a great shot when I hit it.
so I'll have to harness the 4th rule of happier golf, and just accept that bad breaks are part of the game. That's firmly in my rear view by the time I'm standing over this one, but the golf gods deal me one more obstacle here.
Go! Go!
I'm left with another slick downhiller for bogey, but I managed to get it to go.
Hey!
And save for the first hole, we've kept double squares off the card today.
Thanks.
Perfect line would be that greenside bunker with a baby draw.
After a stray drive on the last par 4, I'm going to take my time getting my line here on 16. I'm locked in,
Yeah,
and with a conservative club, I'm able to hit my line here.
should be good.
The wind is still a factor on the approach shot. I'm aimed at the middle of the green, although the wind pushes this one just right of the flagstick, leaving me a makeable birdie putt. But this one
Good putt.
is not my best, and I'll settle for par. The 17th is a tricky uphill par 5 that moves gently left, where a good drive unfortunately deals me another bad break.
Oh, what a shitty lie. Let's not top this.
I'm just focused on making decent contact here, and though the trajectory is a little scuzzy,
Thanks.
Yeah.
Actually happy with that.
it works out. Now it's a blind wedge into this green. I hoist it up in the air, but it's a bit tuggy and winds up over the back of the green. But my opponents have made a mess of this hole, so this is mostly academic now. I tidy this one up close enough,
Okay.
and they'll hand me the par to secure the match.
Thank you.
18 is a tricky par 4 with water up the right, and with some of my drives missing a bit right today, I'll be sure to pick a conservative target here.
Go, baby, go. I just feel like that pin's right at the front. I don't need 2 extra clubs. One's more than enough, right?
And this approach is no joke either. There's a bunker protecting the green short and water up the right, and after some deliberation I've chosen a club, but it's ultimately one more poor strike as my last full swing of the day.
That's gonna work, I think.
I'll have to ensure to get some check on this one to ensure it doesn't release towards the water, and mission accomplished.
Yeah, you got the spin.
Yeah.
It's about 15 feet for par here, and it's on line, but I don't quite get it to go,
Ugh.
and I'll close the day with a bogey. And there you have it. Happy golf. It's not hard to remain in good spirits when carding a respectable score, but if you've watched the channel, you know that I tend to remain in these spirits whether shooting 79 or 99. And I hope you're able to harness some of these rules to better enjoy rounds yourself.